Okay, yogis, I'm back. So I know that was really quick. So I got us up to date with the heart chakra, and now we're moving on to the throat chakra, which is obviously located in the throat center of the body. This is in Sanskrit Vissudha chakra, and that is translated into English as purification. So you think of purifying, cleansing, purifying oneself. Its element is sound. So as you can see, we are moving from more physical and dense chakras and elements into more ethereal and more subtle elements. So you think of sound and you think of, well, I can't hold sound. What does that look like? I don't know what sound looks like. It's the vibration. So air, was the element of the heart, and now we're moving even less dense than air into vibration. So you think of, like, if I'm talking right now, it's actually just frequency. It's vibrations in the vocal cords and different things that are making this noise. And so it's even more ethereal than the chakras previously. So the throat chakra is on communication. Its purposes is communication and creativity. Its color is bright blue. So for those of you who are in class with Brett Stiles, please ask him to do his magic trick with the blue throat chakra, and I know he'll enjoy showing that to you. So it's in the throat area. Its demon is lies, and I'll kind of get to that later. The throat chakra, Vissudha chakra, is developed between the years of 7 and 12 years old, and the basic rights is to speak and be heard, and as you'll hear later, to listen. So again, it's more etheric. We're coming into more of the auric body of one's being. And so what I mean by that is, if you hold your hands without touching, you can actually start to feel the other hand. If you have somebody put their hands on top of yours, you are going to feel their hand without them touching you. And so this is an exchange of energy that comes above and beyond the skin or the organs of the body, and this is the aura. So we have 7 and beyond layers of the aura of our bodies, but now we're just starting to get lighter and lighter. Again, just like sound, we can't see these parts of ourselves necessarily, and some people can see auras, and everybody can see auras if we really worked on that and honed in on that practice in our lives, but typically on an everyday basis we don't necessarily see that. So it's just becoming lighter, more etheric, more subtle, less dense. So this is the realm of vibration, the realm of communication and sound and creativity, like I said. We leave the balance of the heart and move more into the subtleties of the chakras. So now we've the heart center, now we're starting to move towards this side of the teeter-totter, if you think of it. Again, just another level of balance that we're trying to find. So we're really breaking free from gravity. It's lighter energy, where we were really rooted down from the root chakra and working on trust and growing. Now we're starting to let go. Okay, so we're really grounded and now we're letting go. So if you think of Ayurvedically too, the lower chakras might be more kapha, and then we're moving into more of the vata, more of the air that's associated with the elements as well. If you come from more of an Ayurvedic standpoint, that might be a little bit easier to understand. So a purpose of the throat chakra is to enhance resonance, and what I mean by resonance is becoming more rhythmic with the vibrations around us. Resonance is just another word for rhythm. So what our voice, what our throat, what our vibration, our communication, our creativity, we should try to become in tune with that within ourselves. So when I mean become more rhythmic and more synchronized with the vibrational patterns around us, it doesn't just mean outside of the outside world, but also within ourselves. So you might be asking, well, Jackie, there's war here, and judgment there and there. Why would I want to become more rhythmic with that vibration? And, that is where, our need to be aware of what, where to put our boundaries up and what vibrations to connect with, and or having our vibration becoming larger and larger in positivity and love and light in order to help get that more lower vibrant frequency, or the more negative vibrant frequency, if you think of it that way, to connect with ours. And we work on cultivating that in the world around us, if you think of it universally in that aspect. But enhancing resonance, enhancing or becoming more synchronized with the vibrational patterns around us. So really listening to the body and listening to the self, listening to the heart, and becoming in sync with nature and the world around us. Communication. Let's go there first, because this might be more specific to, okay, how do I make that happen? Think about when you're in, and I go to work meetings, because I work with a lot of different people, and I'm in really big meetings with a lot of big ideas. And so there are a lot of people, explaining a lot of different things and opinions and thoughts about certain aspects of my job. And if we all just assumed that everybody knew what we were thinking and we didn't communicate, we would all be out of sync with one another. We become a synchronized team by communication. You think of your relationships in your life with friends, with family, with your partner, with your coworker, and communication, whether that be writing, speaking, some sort of communication. If you did not communicate with one another, you would probably be out of sync. So that is why it's important to connect with other people and connect with the vibration around us. So that is from person to person, but you may also think about it, the moon phases. So I really, in my life and in my yogic journey, have tried to become more in sync with the moon in regards to, this might be TMI, but whatever, my menstrual cycle. So I'm going to become more in sync with that vibrational pattern of the earth, and I feel like that will enhance my clarity and balance in my life. And so that's just another example of how the throat chakra and communication and listening and observing and noticing patterns of becoming in sync with those in our lives, whether that be with the earth, with the universe, with other people, our animals, whatever it might be. The voice really becomes the touchstone of health for this chakra. It is a really great place to start observing where this chakra is at. So if your voice is becoming meek and whispering and dry and cracked and all of that, it might mean that you're deficient in this chakra. And if you are finding yourself to be really loud, like, oh my God, I feel like I'm being really loud, you're talking too much or a lot, you're struggling in hearing other people, that might be where you might be in excess with this chakra. And so for those who may not use the voice to speak, it can also be assessed in other areas of our life or the way that we're communicating. So tightness in the chest, telling more lies, keeping more secrets, having more fear. So there's other ways of accessing that information, but the voice is a great place to start if you're a person who speaks with the voice, to be able to start assessing that area of your body. But you can tell when you have a dry throat, or you're just being in excess as far as how much you're talking and speaking, communicating and not listening, and so on. It's also about looking at the voice within us as well, and what is the voice saying to us inside. So are we repressing ourselves, or are we allowing ourselves to expand? And that kind of segues me into the next aspect of the throat chakra. So expressing your truth, living your dharma is really important for the throat chakra to be vibrant. What I mean by that is dharma is our purpose. It is what, how we make meaning in our life. Living your dharma is living your purpose. And it is living your purpose and speaking your truth without apologies. Being exactly who you are, listening to yourself, understanding who you are. And we're always evolving, so allowing ourselves to not be stuck in one box, because we're always constantly evolving. But along that journey, while we're continuing to evolve, every second along the way, in the present moment that we are in this moment, is speaking exactly your truth. So if you are somewhere in a relationship, coworker, friend, spouse, partner, parent, family member, whomever it may be, the earth, if you haven't spoken to the earth in a while, the earth you haven't been listening too much to her, or your practice on your mat, whatever that might be, when you stop that communication, when you start living in fear of being judged, or there's lies or secrets, you might start to find that this area becomes deficient in your, this chakra becomes deficient. So secrets, lies, shame, fear. If you came from an authoritarian family, like you do what I say, you don't get to speak, children are seen, not heard, that kind of aspect, that starts to create deficiency or problems in the throat chakra area. Neglect, those are all some past traumas that can be resonated into the present moment from the past with the throat chakra. So you just work on kind of working those out, and that can be done through healing work, Reiki, your yoga practice, starting to speak your truth, psychotherapy, yoga asana, so the physical practice of yoga, meditation, chanting, mantras, writing, music, actively listening, so listening more, cleansing the environment in which you are in, because that's, again, part of that connecting with the vibrational patterns around you, including the people, if it may be disconnecting with some people who are not healthy for you. All of these pieces are ways to help enhance the throat chakra. So as we move along with our week of the throat chakra, think of that. Think of communication. And also think of creativity, because that's another big part of the throat chakra. How much in expressing your truth, how much do you allow yourself to go with the flow, to be creative? When's the last time you painted? When's the last time you just drew something? When's the last time you got on your mat without being led, without being instructed, without being in a box, and just do what comes, what manifests itself from the body? These things can be so healing, even if you don't see yourself as a painter or someone that's creative and you think you're far from that. Just do it. Sing in your car, dance. These expressive arts are so important to all of the chakra system and to ourselves. And so don't deny that this week in the throat chakra area. This is a great opportunity to start releasing some of those fears and starting to talk with those around you, if that is what you need to do. Start living your truth, speaking your truth, living your dharma. I am here to support you. We at Evolve are here for you. So any way that we can help you do that, it's all about letting go and surrendering to this process. And I assure you, although there might be some shaky times amongst it, it's so completely worth it. And so this week we'll be doing asana practice related to the throat chakra. And I can't wait to see you, and I hope you have a beautiful week. And we only have 2 more weeks after this until we end our 7-week chakra journey in the present moment with you. Namaste.